It's Friday, August 15th, and this is the Echo Press News Minute for the week of August 10th through the 16th. I'm Kris Kerzman, sitting in for Lisa Johnson with these top stories from Wednesday's issue. The city of Garfield was abuzz with activity last Friday and Saturday for the 2025 Garfiled Days celebration. A variety of events were held, including a garage sale at the school, street dance, parade, pork chop feed, kiddie carnival, and more. Events took place at the Garfield Pub, the Locals Grill and Tavern, St. John's Church, St. Luke's Church, and Garfield City Park. We have photos and more at echopress.com. 1 in 4 Alexandria residents spend more than 30% of their income on housing versus 1 in 7 statewide. Lori Anderson, executive director for the Habitat for Humanity of Douglas County, said statistics like these are why programs like Habitat for Humanity are so important for the community. Anderson and other officials, including Senator Tina Smith, were on hand Thursday, August 7th, at Habitat's development on Summer Lane in Alexandria to discuss the impacts of the program in Douglas County. Anderson said it was their largest project to date and the first affordable single-family housing development in Alexandria since 2002. Anderson thanked the city and the county, as well as federal programs, for their role in making the development a reality. Senator Smith said that in a lot of ways, the current housing crisis began with the financial crisis of 2008, but the seeds had been planted decades earlier. She said the country is somewhere between 3.5 and 7 million housing units short, and that this shortage has a big impact on working people, which makes programs like Habitat for Humanity so important. More pieces of the puzzle are coming together to build a parking lot near a new splash pad, make sidewalk improvements, and install a new playground at Fillmore Park. At its Monday meeting, the Alexandria City Council agreed to get quotes for the parking lot and sidewalk. The city engineer's estimate of the construction cost is $131,600. Viking Bank, in association with Central Specialties, has committed an estimated $50,400 of in-kind donation of work that will be memorialized in the Fillmore Park's naming rights agreement. In exchange for the donation, Viking Bank requested that the park's new playground, upon construction, be named the Viking Bank Playground. Signs recognizing the contribution will be displayed between the new parking lot and the splash pad. The council accepted the naming rights agreement, which will last for 15 years. Public Works Director Brian Yavarow noted in a memo to the council that cost for the remaining parking lot items is estimated at $60,300 and requested approval to ask for quotes. He also said Viking Bank's in-kind donation will cover about 40% of the total parking lot construction cost, a significant funding contribution. Now from our Life section. When wandering about Alexandria the next few months, you might notice something different, with 5 of the typically green-colored, drab-looking utility boxes placed around the city. In fact, the one at the corner of 2nd Avenue East and Maple Street on the lawn of Winning Edge Graphics has already been transformed. The box is now wrapped with pieces of artwork created by local artist Faith Mills. 2 of the sides have 3 of her pastels titled Blue Heron, Western Reef Heron, and Pelican Reflections. Another side has her painting Pelicans on the Dock. The utility box vinyl wraps are a project of Arts Initiative of Douglas County, a new nonprofit organization formed earlier this year. The installation of the wraps is part of a broader effort to bring art into everyday spaces and add visual interest to community infrastructure, according to Casey Morris from the Arts Initiative Group. For this project, the group worked with the City of Alexandria, Alexandria Light and Power, and Winning Edge Graphics. Morris noted that the project is funded entirely through private charitable sponsorships and no taxpayer dollars are used. The first box wrap was sponsored by Geneva Capital of Alexandria. Quote, "We've talked for years about bringing this kind of public art to Alexandria, and we finally did it," Morris said. "It's exciting to see our vision come to life and add something vibrant to our everyday spaces," she added. Morris said the 4 additional utility boxes are scheduled to be wrapped this fall, and that each would feature original designs from Minnesota-based artists. The themes, she added, would be tied to nature, community, and Alexandria's identity. And in sports, we have several stories on echopress.com from the Resorters Golf Tournament. Read about the men's and women's championship, the men's executive, 2 junior divisions, men's regular, and men's Grand Masters. It's time to pick up your copy of the Echo Press today for great local news coverage. Members, remember to activate your online membership for the expanded daily e-edition. Become a member today at echopress.com/subscribe. The Echo Press, giving information life since 1891. And here are the top stories from Friday's issue. Wednesday morning, August 13th, was a busy time at the Douglas County Fairgrounds as food vendors, 4-H kids, and many others were prepping for the opening day of the Douglas County Fair. The fair continues through Saturday, August 16th, and includes plenty of fun activities and entertainment for everyone. There is plenty of free music, but also a ticketed concert on Saturday night featuring Thompson Square and Cooper Allen. Doors open at 6:30, with Thompson Square kicking it off at 7:30 p.m. and Cooper Allen coming on at 9 p.m. Tickets are available on the Douglas County Fair website, dcmnfair.com. Other fair fun includes a lawnmower demo derby, bohemian tractor pull, rock climbing wall, canine demonstrations, all the delicious food vendors, the carnival rides, games, and much more. In Friday's issue, we take a look into the shortage of beds in the area for those experiencing a mental health crisis. Tanya Quaid has experienced a mental health crisis, trying to decide if she should go to the emergency room, but knowing that's not really the right place for her. Quaid joined a packed house at Vikingland Community Support on July 29th for the Alexandria stop of NAMI Minnesota's listening tour. NAMI stands for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and their focus is on advancing policy and funding that strengthens mental health resources. Quaid was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and she, along with a room full of consumers, parents, friends, family, providers, and advocates, were there to share their experiences of mental illness and mental health care in the Lakes area. Quaid said that stigmas surrounding mental illness can make managing it more difficult, and said that a trip to the ER for a mental health emergency is usually where treatment starts, not where it ends. The parking lot at Alexandria's downtown liquor store will soon be improved. At its Monday meeting, the Alexandria City Council agreed to remove the municipal store's Broadway Street parking lot access and make the lot handicap compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Recently, the council awarded 2 bids to Mark Lee Asphalt and Paving to reclaim and pave both the downtown and Plaza liquor store parking lots. This work is scheduled to start after Labor Day. During site visits, ADA compliance was reviewed in addition to pavement deficiencies. Staff identified the access ramp along Broadway Street, which also serves as a pedestrian sidewalk located within the right-of-way, as excessive cross-slope and ADA non-compliant features. The removal of the parking lot access point on Broadway will result in a reduction of 5 parking stalls. However, congestion is also expected to decrease with the implementation of directional signage guiding traffic flow around the building, according to Brian Yavaro, Public Works Director. Also, staff has indicated these stalls are seldom used. The estimated cost for this work is $12,000. The 80-year-old Alexandria man accused of stabbing his adult niece to death has been found competent to stand trial. The order declaring Angel Rua-Torres competent was filed in Douglas County District Court on August 11th. Based on medical evaluations and testimony, the order declared that the suspect is feigning an inability to communicate with other individuals in either English or Spanish and intentionally failed to engage with evaluators, treatment team members, and staff. Evaluations also found that Rua-Torres exaggerated any memory issues he claims to have. An omnibus hearing has been scheduled for September 10th in Douglas County. The stabbing occurred in the 1600 block of 6th Avenue East in Alexandria on November 24, 2023. Rua-Torres has since been identified as victim Desiree Frederick's uncle. According to the statement of probable cause in the case, a neighbor of Rua-Torres called 911 after Rua-Torres allegedly came to the neighbor's trailer and said someone had hurt his niece. Rua-Torres allegedly told authorities that he had been sleeping in his room when he heard crying and that when he came out, he saw a man run out of the trailer and leave in a convertible car, the statement read. The neighbor told authorities that he did not observe anyone in the area, nor did he see anyone leave the area. In life, read from our From the Vault feature story about the era of silent movies in Alexandria. Most people like to go to the movies. It's something Alexandria residents have been doing for a very long time, at least since 1908. Newspaper records indicate the first movie theater in Alexandria was located above Raiders Meat Market, opening in March of 1908. The Bijou Family Theater offered general admission prices of 10 cents and shows featuring a variety of one-reel movies from the United States and Europe. Quote, Mr. Thorne, the proprietor, receives new films twice each week and is sparing no expense to give a good, clean entertainment, the Alexandria Citizen News reported, adding, if you want a seat, you had better go early, as the hall is usually crowded. The theater didn't last long in its original location, partly because it was apparently in a tent, which let too much light in to show the movies properly. By June, it moved south of the Benson Brothers store on what was then Main Street. The Family Theater showed movies for the next few months at this location, including such titles as A Too Devoted Wife, The Enchanted Glasses, and I Have a Pig. Across the country at this time, theaters were becoming more and more elaborate in their furnishings, and Alexandria was no different in this respect. Eventually, in 1924, remodeling began on a Buick showroom to be converted into a theater, which the Alexandria Citizen News reported would, quote, be as fine a show house as there is west of the Twin Cities. The theater was called The State, and the building still exists as Vital Fit Club, which is located on 112 6th Avenue. In sports, the Little Darling Par 3 course at the Alexandria Golf Club is the biggest new addition to the area golf community. The course opened in June and has been a big hit, according to the course superintendent Jake Fenno, adding that things are going great thanks to support from its board members. Fenno was born in Fergus Falls, Minnesota, and moved to Alexandria in his junior high years. He then moved up to Breckenridge, Minnesota for his high school years. He moved back to Alexandria when he was 19 and began working at the Alexandria Golf Club in 2003, working under AGC Superintendent Donacha O'Connor. Fenno moved up the ranks at AGC and became the assistant superintendent of the course in 2013. Fenno didn't have experience as the superintendent of a course before, but because of his work ethic and skills, he was selected to be the Little Darling Par 3 course superintendent. O'Connor said, it's hard to become a superintendent, but, quote, I've seen him grow into this role. Opinion page topics for this week include an editorial about at-risk youth, an In the Know column from Alexandria Mayor Bobby Osterberg, a history column that includes a bank robbery item, an editorial about the Alexandria College winning awards, a commentary about when life ends, and letters to the editor about abortion, tax cuts, former President Obama, and Representative Fishbach's Mallard bill. That's it for the Echo Press Minute. The Echo Press, giving information life since 1891.